We're live. Hola, hola. How are you? How's everyone out there in Instagram world, in YouTube world? I hope you guys are doing and having an amazing week so far. And so today we want to showcase a pretty how can you make money in real estate? What opportunities are there still for you to make money? And so the biggest question, Juan, right now, if somebody wants to make $50,000, $60,000 in 5 months, what do you recommend? And the reason why we have Juan touching on this topic is because he does investments, has been doing them for a very long time. He's, the loan guy, but really as far as the flipping, the building your rental portfolio, he does it very well. He's done it for our clients. He does it for our family. And so he's going to give you guys all the details on that. So if somebody wants to make some, let's say $50,000, $60,000 in 5 months, what do they need to do?
Absolutely, Nora. So the only thing that comes to mind, if we're talking about, obviously, we can say, there's other ways, but the only transaction that comes to mind would be to do a flip, right? So somebody that's looking to make that amount of money in a span of 5 months, definitely the only avenue that I could say that could achieve that would be doing a flip, right? So a flip generally is a transaction where you buy a piece of real estate property, maybe invest a little bit of money into it, doing a remodel, doing the rehab, and you're out of the deal within 6 months. Typically, a flip would say anywhere between 3 months to 6 months time horizon, right?
So what we're saying here is if you want to make some money in real estate, you do it with a flip. You can do it quickly. You can turn that money around pretty fast. Now let's talk about what that would mean for somebody that wants to get into flipping, that's been thinking about it for a long time, and also the people that might even feel right now is not a good market for them to be able to start flipping, that the market is difficult, the market is rough, prices have gone up, and there's really no deals. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I especially in today's market, I definitely would not recommend for anybody to just jump in and start investing in flips without knowledge or without some type of expertise. Preferably, in my opinion, it would be a good idea if somebody doesn't have that knowledge base, that they definitely partner up with somebody that does, or maybe are being guided by a mentor, right?
Absolutely. So why? Because you can go into flips thinking you're going to make a lot of money, and all of a sudden you get yourself in a pickle or in a situation, and you may not only not make money, but you might lose, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking back to when I started flipping, and I think I probably made all the mistakes in the on the book that you can make in flipping, right? So it's definitely something that you can misjudge, misjudge a deal, misjudge the work that needs to be put into it. There's definitely a very long list of things that you need to check off when you get into a flip investment, right? Fortunately, I did it when the market wasn't as expensive as it is now. And so the mistakes, in most cases didn't hurt that bad, right? But definitely right now would suggest somebody getting into flip, they definitely should have knowledge or a mentor or partner up with somebody that already has experience under their belt, at least for the first couple of deals.
So basically, the recommendation now is that if you're a brand new flipper, you've never done one flip in your life, that although you might have read everything, although you might have watched a lot of videos, that you still possibly partner up with someone that has the experience, right, with flips?
Yeah, I definitely think.
Is there still money in that? Like, Juan, so if you partner up, if you're new to flips and you say, well, I want to make money, if you're partnering up, is there still room for you to make money even after partnering up?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole point of flipping, right? If you're gonna do a flip, the idea is for there to be enough space, for the profits. I know you just I don't know what number you threw. If we're talking about flips under 500. That you don't look at the first couple of deals from that perspective. You maybe look at the first couple of deals as a learning process. And even if you come out making very little money or no money, you have the experience so that you can maybe do some on your own in the future.
Excellent. And so do you think there's still deals for flipping in the market? Well, here in Vegas specifically.
Flipping's always going to be a thing in any market. And that's one of the unique things about flipping is that, you can flip houses on a down market, on an up market, because it's a short-term investment, right? In my opinion, it's not even an investment. It's pretty much, it's pretty much an activity that you're doing in a very short period of time, like a job or a side gig. So in 3 to 6 months, you should be able to, if you have the right tools, you have the right information, you have, the right knowledge, you should be able to figure out what's going on in the market within 3 to 6 months and not really risk your money.
Excellent. So what you're saying is there are still opportunities for flipping right now. If you want to get started, you absolutely should partner up with someone that has been doing it, or even maybe a real estate agent that understands the process and will guide you through the process all the way through. And so let's say you do want to get started. What should you consider as being somebody that's new to the flipping business? What's going to be important in making this flipping endeavor, or we call it, a lot of people are calling it now your side hustle, your part-time thing, additional money, right? What would be some key important kind of elements to make sure that you're doing it right, or that you're prepping yourself correctly?
Correct. Yeah. Some of the key things I would say, especially right now, would be networking. Definitely building the connections with the people that are going to help you, the people that you might need throughout the process of flipping a house. Some of the, obviously the realtor, I would say, would be top of the list. So definitely connecting with somebody like Nora's team, a title company, lenders. So we're, somebody that's going to get started in the business will definitely want to have those relationships and make sure that he has a solid understanding of what services and how that company, or how that person can support you when you do your first flip.
Excellent. So we're saying real estate agent, and many times your real estate agent can actually help you and line you up with a title company, even possibly line you up with some lenders, right? If you're going to need some money, or if you're going to need some financing in acquiring this first deal, or the next deals, finance is going to be an important piece, and your realtor might be able to help with that as well. Yeah. Possibly, definitely, for sure, get you in communication with some opportunities for inventory, right? For
that's
houses.
What realtors do. So yeah,
right,
if
exactly.
you connect with a realtor that deals with investors, they already have all those connections for the So any realtor that deals with investors is going to have those connections. So it's just a matter of partnering up with the realtor and then going from there.
Excellent. The other thing too, I would say, Juan, is probably making sure if you have your personal team, your inside team, or you have a contractor that's going to be doing the actual flipping, right? The labor, the remodel, and all that good stuff. That's probably going to be part of the list of relationships you're going to want to have. And making sure what we hear very often is that, oh, my friend or my best friend or my brother or somebody, they do different things, right? Like somebody does stucco, somebody does AC, and all of a sudden you feel that with that, all of a sudden you have yourself a prep repair team or a flipping team on the rehab side.
Yeah.
But sometimes that won't, it won't necessarily always be enough, right? You being able to have all of those resources or connections to professionals kind of in the plumbing, electricity, right? In different sectors would be also very useful.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna treat it like an actual flip, definitely you have to be very careful with the time frame and with the rehab budget. So for those that are getting started or want to do their first flip, that's why I recommend that you definitely have somebody to guide you, because those things could, even though if you're thinking that you're saving money because you're gonna hire a bunch of people that but then your time frame goes over the time limit, the market can change, and then that's where things get risky, right? We're hoping that things are always going to be good with the housing market here in Las Vegas, but the point of flipping is that you're in and out as fast as possible, and then that way you avoid the numbers or the market changing in a direction where it doesn't benefit you to exit that deal at that time.
Would you say another common question that we get with flipping or going into the real estate business and to invest, that you need a whole lot of money? Would you say that that's true? If you're going to start flipping, is it true that you are going to need a whole lot of cash? Or could you do it with possibly, a small cash investment on your part? Tell us a little bit about that.
Right. In that subject, I like to be, I like to be realistic. There's definitely a lot of scenarios out there. A lot of people like to capture the attention of new investors by saying you don't need any money. You can do a flip with no money out of pocket and things like that. And we know what those things look like, but unless you have the background to be able to carry those things out, it's it's going to be a situation where there's a balance, right? So I would say to somebody that's getting started, it would be a good idea to have some type of resources and access to cash, right? But there's definitely ways to get started in the space with no money down. It's just a completely different, there's a different process on how those people would start.
And I could say that we could probably touch on that in a next episode, and that's usually goes along the lines of like assigning a contract, assigning your position on a contract, which sometimes is not necessarily able
so in that situation that you're
correct.
describing, it would require somebody to have the background in wholesaling to where the person that's doing their first flip has the background where they can find the deals themselves.
Correct. Right? So there's layers to this, side of the flipping business or finding opportunities in the real estate space. That one we're not going to cover today in depth, but we want to talk about the flip because number one, there is still opportunity for you to make money with flips. Two, sometimes you may think that you need a whole lot of money, or in some cases you think you need zero, but the truth is you do need some investment from you would recommend, right?
It's like everything else, right? It's a good idea to have that, right? If you are able to walk into a deal where you don't need any money, then that's great. You have the money on the sidelines, and you have it there as a safety net. But in most cases, not everybody's going to be able to start with zero money out of pocket to do their first deal. So
right.
It's if you have access to money, that would be the best case scenario.
So basically, you're in this case, you would say maybe your savings, maybe equity from a property that you already have, because we understand that at the bank, money's not making us, the money in the bank makes us no money. Right?
Yeah, and I mean, you can get creative with that too, right?
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to have the money, the money cash in the bank,
correct,
or anywhere else. You can leverage if you already have real estate. So there's different ways. There's definitely creative ways on how to have access to capital to do a flip.
Right, and it's really interesting nowadays. We're seeing a lot of different ways that we're seeing seller financing. We're seeing that sellers are actually financing back, and so the investor again, is able to walk in with very little out of pocket. Now, are those scenarios common, every single day deals? Possibly not. If you do have your own cash in hand, I would say that you're probably able to take full advantage of really what's going on in the market. You have more options, right, to make a deal happen for yourself if
Right.
you carry some cash with you. So again, we're excited to kind of help you guys in this process. If that's the direction you guys want to take, is be a flipper, be an investor in that way. We have, I know that, like I mentioned, Juan has been doing flips for a very long time, involved in the investment side. We've been helping investors, what is it, Juan? I would say at least a good 13 years. 13 years. We've been helping people, investors, move into the space of flipping. We've supported them through the process in finding deals and getting the financing, and then best part is they turn around and they put them on the market, and then they're able to get their return on that investment, and then just rinse and repeat, right? Repeat that process again and again. And so it's been I think very rewarding for me to see the fact that when we started with the flipper, he was doing just one, and then from there it moved to 2, 3, and then we eventually in the peak of the market we were moving to like 40, 50 a year, and so it's exciting to be able to be involved with all of you in growing this side. Right now there's still deals,
and it's something that we're doing this podcast today, but it's something that we never really wanted to advertise or say that we know how to flip, how to invest in that space, right? But we're coming out now, and we're not looking to do anything specific, but we're here to offer knowledge and our experience to anybody that's interested in the space and wants to learn.
Yeah. Absolutely, and the guidance, and also for you guys to understand that when you do have a question, and possibly when you have some concern, that all of it is valid, and you should seek to get some support from professionals. And so on our end, we consider calling yourself an expert or calling yourself a professional. We take that very lightly, and we never like to either, I would say, put that on ourselves, unless we're like, we have 20 years of experience, or we have a massive track record, and we do in many areas. And with flips, it's such a interesting, I would say, sector in real estate that we've stayed away from saying that, because everyone says that all the time, right? They're
what
an
I would say
expert.
is, like, it's probably like the other way around. Like we don't take it like. I think the idea is that we don't take that lightly, and
Right.
Even though I've been doing it for a long time, it's hard for me to come out and say, hey, I'm an expert in the space.
Right.
Even though I've done, close to 100 flips over the years, and also
helped other investors
helped other
do
people. Yeah.
over hundreds and hundreds of flips in the last 13 years. So for us, we, like you said, we don't take it lightly, and for us to call ourselves experts, to us it's a big deal. But nowadays we see that everyone calls themselves an expert after doing 1 or 2 flips. So we said, you know what, we need to start sharing.
I'm impressed every day by and then you come to find out that they haven't done their first flip yet either.
Exactly.
And
so for
it's
us,
a little crazy, but
it is. So where we're super strict on what we call an expert, and we're, I would say, kind of a little hard on that word, and we don't use it lightly. There's other people that are just using it every single day, and they don't necessarily have in our eyes the background, the experience, and so we know that there's a lot of unfortunate things that are happening where people are being guided by people that don't have experience. So we want to come out, support you guys, give you guys information, and just because, again, we've been in this type of sector in the flipping for a long time, and so we can tell you a lot about it. We understand a lot about that business, and so we can guide you. And so hopefully many of you are seeing the opportunity in this market where there is money, there is opportunity to grow your portfolio, grow your wealth, and that you really see the opportunity in flipping. But you do have to understand some of the important metrics, some of the important details that can really turn the process a little sour for you. But that's why we brought in Juan. Anything you want to say, Juan, before we take off today?
No, I don't think anything comes to mind, but we kind of just jumped on this live and, just wanted to throw it out there. Like Nora saying, I've never really opened this up to, to the general public. We tell, close friends and family, and are willing to help them and give them any type of advice that they ask us for. But I think, with everything that's going on, I definitely think it's a good idea, that we finally decided to throw this out there to our clients. And we're here to support anybody that wants to learn. And we'll probably be doing some more more segments on this.
We're launching in September. We're launching our Monday series where it's we want you to think of real estate and think of the opportunity of investing. So we absolutely want to touch the part of investing and growing with real estate. And so we're going to be touching that this next month, and it's going to be all around helping you grow, whether it's flipping, whether it's multifamily. So you guys are going to hear some more content on this all the month of September. And again, if you have questions, please put your questions on social media or give us a call. You can do both. We are here to help you. We're here to give you, the tools so that you make your decisions. And we hope to be part of that process and, earn the opportunity to work with you. But if all you come is get the information and then start figuring out things on your own, that's okay too. So again, we're here to give you guys hopefully some professional advice and our take on some of the things. And so again, flipping is one that we understand very well, specifically Juan here. So again, we're here to serve you. Give us a call or contact. Please also like our channel or make sure you subscribe. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Bye, everyone.